Hello, welcome back to my workshop. Right, so in today's hopefully short video we'll be just covering this. This is the Parkside Wire Stripper, and I will be doing a little bit of comparison for different types of work with this. The original Parkside Wire Stripper I bought. We will be trying it on a variety of different sorts of stuff. That was a standard kettle lead, which as it happens with some computers now had a 10 amp fuse in it. Obviously it's not functional anymore, but I suspect the fuse has gone or something's gone wrong with that, which is why I've got it. Some thicker stuff, and we'll also be comparing it trying it on a network cable, some twin and earth, and we'll just be running through doing all of these, both wire strippers on both. So let's just start with opening the box. You don't get a great deal in the box. This one is £4.99, £4.99. Not sure what it is in euros. You do get instructions, not desperately useful. So what it has in there, that thing there has a lock on it there. You can see how that works, and it's sprung. You have a whole series of various different sizes of cables that go in there. You have that up the top there. That's two blades. That I presume is for stripping cables. And you have that which will slice through the insulation on cables. So let's just have a quick look at that. Now I haven't tried that in there, but we'll just give that a quick go. So if you put that in there and twist that round. Okay, well that seems to work, but that does nick through the insulation on some of those, so you don't want to use that for that kind of cable. Let's see if you can actually see that. You can see there it's nicked through the insulation just there. So that would be a problem. Now what I did find is that worked quite well in the 6mm slot. That 5mm slot there is, I believe, for coaxial cable. So we'll just go put that through there, pretend we're going to go stick it on a plug. Give that a squeeze. Lock it off, and then we can just hold the cable and twist that round. It's quite stiff. But we've now cut through. And you do have to give this quite a mighty pull to get it off like that. So what I've found is, rather than doing that, you can just open that back up again. You can see it hasn't quite gone through, but you can finish it off. Come on. I say that. Oh no, there we go. So you can just finish it off there and just twist it. Not as quick as I'd like it to be. And there we go. And then if you pick the appropriately sized, and I'm going for the 2mm one, if you just pick the appropriate size one of these, that is fairly quick. So that does that very quickly and very effectively. What it also does, that cable cutter there, I'll just less effective on thinner cables, but you can just put your wire in there, squeeze that shut and pull it, and that should, if I can find it, I'll put a slice down the cable, which you can then simply becomes a bit less obvious at the top. but that's not very good. It has actually sliced through there, but that's a bit naff. It's okay for doing this kind of cable. It's not okay for doing this kind of cable. I've tried it. I'm not going to bore you with that. That's just a bit, I mean, that fundamentally is just a thicker version of that. That's the cable I use for wiring motors. That's a bit of twin and earth for lighting circuits. And you can see it just scrapes that, so that's no good for that. And if we just clamp that down on there, it does manage to start cutting through, but it's no good for that. For these sorts of things, I would really recommend this one, because this is a beast for this kind of thing. If I just take that out of the way, it's not going to use the depth stop. You can get that in there. You can get that pulled off, and then you can just go up here, strip all your cables at once. That really is good, and without any adjustment. Do exactly the same thing on the thinner stuff. So that's a 20 amp cable and that's a 6 amp cable, no adjustment. Now this one I have got network cable out. It's a bit rubbish on network cable. Let me just see as well. You need to put that's a BNC size for 5mm. Just go down a bit further. You can see it doesn't really do anything to that. So it's okay on that kind of flex. Now just try that again. So if we go, stick that through, squeeze that down, clamp it down. Let me just try. That's not going to easily pull off, but it has at least bitten through quite a lot of that, so you can then break the insulation off like that and work your way around. And then off it comes, and it hasn't, albeit you can now see the split I made earlier, and it hasn't damaged, we can look at that, hasn't damaged the insulation below. That's simply because that is just slightly under the size of that, and then as I say, you can go through. So if you're wiring up plugs, it will make your life a bit easier. And there we go. For general purpose use, it's a bit naff. It's not quite as multi-purpose as they would imply. So there you go, it's okay. It is kind of useful. In addition to other wire strippers for getting in, because you can get that wire quite close to there, but I wouldn't go wild about it. On the other hand, this one, on the other hand, which I think was $7.99, this one really is a bit of a beast of a wire stripper. It can't get in there, and it also is a bit difficult if you're trying to wire a plug because you're quite close to the stub ends. But as you can see, for that kind of work, it's just a delight. So, thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Subscribing is free. Oh, and sharing is very, very useful. Cheers.